What's going on, team? It's your boy G, your favorite MCU homie, bro. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing Shang Chi. But before we do, I need you guys to do me one huge favor, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 1,000 subscribers, man. And a bit of support is greatly appreciated. You could be watching anything on YouTube right now, but just try to check this video out. So I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, y'all. So, man, this movie, bro, Shang Chi, is the best martial arts movie in the MCU, bro. Like, hands down, nobody's competing with this man. You can go into, like, you know, some of the TV shows and stuff like that with, you know, Daredevil and Iron Fist, and you might see some, you know, competition there, but no, bro, no, they not touching my man Shang-Chi. This was one of the top movies for this year, 100%. For me, it's like top 2 at this point, but I love everything about this movie, man, from the setting to the casting to just the overall lore and background that we got over, you know, this new story that we're about to embark on, man. This is the first Shang-Chi movie, man. This was big for just, you know, representation all around just Marvel and just, like, you know, the superhero community as a whole, bro. And overall, bro, this joint is just fire, bro. Like, it's dope. So let's get into some of the things I liked most about the movie. First things first, man, the fights, bro. So, like, you already heard me say it already once before, but for me, it's not so much just the choreography, because choreography is amazing, bro. It's top tier. But for me, it's the camera angles and the camera movement and how fluid, and just, like, you know, you really get a sense of, like, mastery when you're watching this movie. And with Shang-Chi, you know, being like one of the #1 fighters in Marvel, period, like, you had to come out with it, you know what I'm saying? So they definitely did him justice with this movie. He was giving people's hands and feet, bro, and it was just dope to see. I also love, like, the setting of this movie, man. It's giving me, like, early MCU vibes where, you know, we know a lot, right, just from our history and just knowing, you know, the MCU stories as a whole. But with this new era of movies that we're getting into, you know, we're starting to get that mystery back because we don't necessarily know exactly where they're going. So this was a really dope thing to see within this movie, and all the cameos that we got to see, from seeing Wong in this movie to seeing Abomination to seeing the Black Widows to seeing the youngest that had, like, the blow up superpowers in Iron Man 3. Like, that was really dope to see, man. I love all the cameos, man, and just the overall casting for this film. I think they did a great job with that. Everybody was either throwing hands or cracking jokes, bro, and that's what I like about the MCU. So let's talk a little bit about the story, man. So Legend of the 10 Rings, if you're not really familiar about this, 10 rings, you know, are pretty much like a super powerful tool that it's kind of similar to, you know, the Infinity Stones in some ways, but they didn't really get too much into that in the actual movie. But, like, which is one of my critiques of this movie, I wish they would have gone more into, like, you know, what the actual 10 rings can actually do, especially if the Mandarin, you know what I'm saying, has had them for such a long time. He's lived generations on generations. You would think that he will be able to use more than a couple powers that, you know, they have, and they all have, you know, different personalities, which is something that they didn't really get into as well, which I thought, you know, would have helped more when it comes to, like, you know, landing these super emotional and epic moments of just, like, motive, honestly, you know what I'm saying? And in this movie, it just made it seem like he was a grieving guy and he was just trying to put his family back together in all the wrong ways, bro. But, you know, the 10 rings goes way deeper into that, and maybe that'll happen in the next Shang-Chi movie, or the next time we see him, we'll see a little bit more of that. But in this movie, we literally just focused on the superpowers of the 10 rings, like how powerful they are and what they can do. And don't get me wrong, it looked amazing, bro. Like, I love the 10 rings actual battle, but I'm just assuming that there just wasn't enough time to, you know, fit more of the 10 rings lore into this introductory film. Hopefully we get more soon, but I still, you know, don't think that's a super knock. You know what I'm saying? Because we got what we needed from this movie. Now, let's talk about some of the things I didn't like about this movie, because, you know, with talking about the story, you know, we have to talk about the movie to trailer ratio. Now, to me, if you're asking just me, right, I think if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm saying, for this movie, you knew exactly what was going to happen throughout the whole thing. the movie to trailer ratio for me is not that great. Don't get me wrong, like the action scenes and stuff like that, there's still plenty of that in this movie, but as far as the story goes, like there's no real progression, you know what I'm saying, from what we saw in the trailer. It's just like boom bam, like, you know what I'm saying, and it takes a long time to get to boom bam, like, but they rehash a lot of the same details within this film, and I don't really necessarily like that. I wish we could have learned more, but it is what it is, man. And it kind of hurt the motive and just like the moments where it's like, you know, this should be a very impactful scene and a very impactful line, but to me it didn't hit the way it should have, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion on that. All right, next up, let's talk about some fun stuff. So the comedy for this film was pretty good. You know, it was very like, you know, dry humor, and then there was, you know, some puns and stuff in there, which is classic Marvel, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the, you know, comedy was coming from like one source pretty much. I wish it was like a little bit more throughout, but it makes sense just because, you know, of the serious nature of what was going on. But I like how they were challenging the status quo. One thing that, you know, really stuck out to me during this film was the fact that, you know, not everybody has it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have this whole plan laid out for you, you still got to make the decision to go down that path, and your path could change and, you know, have infinite solutions. But like, that's just one thing that I definitely noticed and I can appreciate about this film. Now next up, bro, we have to talk about the suit, bro. Like, I feel like this was one of the more like underwhelming superhero suits, just because everybody had the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that they have special powers and the whole like village thing, they use dragon scales and stuff like that to be their weaponry and just like, you know, their armor and stuff like that. But I wish Shang-Chi would have gotten like, you know, something special, bro, you know what I'm saying? And then they had the Team Jordans on my man, and I don't appreciate that either. Like, you're gonna have him in the fly fours, you know what I'm saying, throughout the film when he's just chilling, but when it's time to get busy, you're gonna give him the Team Jordans. Don't think I didn't peep that, bro. I saw it. Like, at least, bro, at least cover it up so we don't see exactly what kind of shoe that is. Like, cause I don't know, yeah, that threw me off a little bit. But the overall suit is dope when you're looking at, you know, Shang-Chi and everybody else that's, you know, a part of the Avengers or just another superhero. But when you put them all together, like, they just looked like one thing. Like, his suit wasn't really that much different, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it was something that, you know, was passed down and was waiting for him. I wish it could have been a little bit more unique, but nonetheless, it was still pretty cool though. All right, next up, I want to talk about my favorite people in this movie, man, and that is Shang-Chi's sister and Katie, bro, his best friend. I think the sibling rivalry is just getting started based on, you know, how the story ends, and I'm excited to see just what his sister could really do, because she got this certain type of, you know, attitude and like just demeanor and the way she move. Like, I like the way she move, bro. She move like a boss, bro, and that's tough to me. And then just, you know, Katie is just hilarious, bro. Like, she carries the comedy for this movie, man, and I just, you know, want to see what else she's gonna do, bro. But of course, Shang-Chi gonna do what Shang-Chi does, right? You know what I'm saying? He just now getting a 10 ring. So it would be dope to see, you know, how he continues to mold himself into just being a better, you know, person overall. Other than that, bro, I love this movie. I think it was great. I think it's like top 2 of this year. I still have Snake Eyes as a better like overall movie than this, but they both get the same G-File score. So Shang-Chi gets a 94 out of 100. Man, I love this movie. The best Marvel movie that has come out to date. And we'll see, bro. We'll see if, you know what I'm saying, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange will be able to tap this jank. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I think they will. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all did, smash that like button down below for your boy. Subscribe to the channel for more. I'm gonna holler at y'all the next time, man. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing. It's gonna be your boy G. I'm out. Peace. Dang, I know they like that video, bro. That's crazy. I can't wait to see the comment.
Whoa, what are you still doing here? Well, since you're here, you might as well hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because if you didn't, what are we really here for? If you're still here at this point, you probably still want to know and talk more about it. So come through on the Twitch stream, man. Twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. I want to see you in the chat. Let me know you came from YouTube and we could talk about today's video. Discuss anime, movies, films. Y'all already know what it is, bro. Wait, that's still not it? Oh, I know what it is. You was wondering about this drip right here. Well, you can check that out on IG, Growth Apparel. That's Growth Apparel, GRWTH. It's on the screen right now. So go copy you a tee, man. I'm gonna see y'all in chat. I'm gonna see y'all in these comments. I appreciate y'all once again. Y'all already know I rocks with you, bro. I'm out of here. You still here? Ah, y'all gang.